Okay, I think I have it set up. Okay, so if there's anyone in here, I'm just going to copy and paste the link into the Facebook real quick. Hi, everyone. I'm here. I'm just trying to post a link. I'm going to post it in the event that you created. And then also on that post that I made earlier. Okay. And if someone, well, I guess that'll be good enough. Okay. All right. I'll just give a few minutes for people to hop on and finish getting my stuff ready to go. Hi from Florida. Or I should say hello to Florida. Where in Florida are you from? I grew up, well, I didn't really grow up in Florida, but I finished high school in Florida, in Jacksonville area. So. Oh, Cali. Okay. So I'm from Orange Park. That's where I went to high school. So seriously, not too far from where I was in Florida. Now I'm all the way on the other coast. I'm in Southern California now. I actually live in a town called Corona, which is people like to make fun of because of the virus. But I've been out here for 12 years now. Hi, Cynthia. Where are you from in California? I wish I could make this a little bit bigger so I could see. Oh, nice. I have no idea where Placerville is. Is that north, central, or southern? Hi, Bee. All right, got a chat full of Cali girls. Okay, I don't like that. Hold on. Oh, sorry about the camera. I'm trying to reach my computer. Okay. Oh, okay, I see. So I know where those places are. Sorry about my head. Okay. Okay, you guys ready to start? Oops. Just getting married. Aw. Well, congratulations to your daughter. Oops. Okay, can you guys hear me okay? And is the lighting okay? Trying to, there's a little bit of a shadow there, but hopefully it's okay. This is my first time doing an actual YouTube live. I've done plenty of Facebook lives on doing like epoxy tumblers and things, but I've never done one on YouTube. And I was trying to do it last night to, kind of iron out the kinks and everything, and discovered that you have to have 1,000 followers in order to use the mobile version of recording. So I have you hooked up to a webcam, which probably isn't the best quality, but it's what I have to use until I can get 1,000 people. So, okay, let's get started. So I have the pieces that I just rolled up over here that I just unrolled. These are going to be my piping. I'm actually making my piping so it'll match exactly to my bag. And this is just the cotton cording that goes inside. I don't remember how big this is. I don't know, like an eighth maybe. Tilt your camera a little towards you. Towards like my machine, like over here. Would that be better? I have you on a cart. Is that better, B? Thank you very much for subscribing. All right, and so these pieces right here are my straps. I don't remember how big I cut them. Oh, 20 inches is the length I cut mine because it's going to be for my aunt, actually, and she wanted them a little bit longer because it's going to be a work bag. So you put those to the side. So you're going to need your straps, your pieces for your piping. You can also just use pre-made piping if you want to use that. I know, who was that? The Zorel, I think. They had like a really cool glitter piping that came out, and I really wanted to try it, but I missed out. So you got to be fast with these people, man. Okay. And then this is your strap connector, which we will cut into 4 pieces. And you will also need your side panels. So the top is going to be the squared off edge, and the rounded edge here at the bottom is your bottom. So it'll be just like that. Okay, so I'm going to start with the strap connectors. You're going to need, sorry about my face being in the camera, that's why I had it tilted the other way. I'm a little shy about being on camera. I'm good with talking, but not being on the camera. Okay, so this is the strap connectors, and I'm just going to run some double-sided tape. This is that Hyperstick leather tape from Wawak. I don't know how you say it, but you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm just going to put it right down the middle. You can draw a line here if that's easier for you, but I'm kind of an impatient person who doesn't like to do that. So If I need to slow down, let me know. If you have any questions, please put them in there. I can see the chat. I have it over to the side. And if you want me to show you anything in more detail, please let me know, and I will do my best to show you. All right, so if you don't have double-sided tape, you can always iron if you're using something that, yeah, their double-sided tape is the best, in my opinion. I lost my train of thought. Oh, if your machine can't handle double-sided tape, and you're using something that can be ironed, you can always iron this. If not, these little clips here, I think they're called alligator clips. Is that? But you can easily fold and then clip that closed, and it'll do the same thing. It'll be a little bit harder, but because just the double-sided tape obviously holds it perfectly in place. But okay. I actually I get some double-sided tape for like thinner projects from Daiso. We have one not too far from my house, and you can't really beat it for a $1.75, I think. But I can only use it on like, it'll work on waterproof canvas for me. It'll also work on any kind of cotton. So if you have a Daiso, that's a good place to look for some supplies. Okay, so I just folded to the center. Pretty standard strap making, connector making here. So I'm just going to stitch that up, and I didn't check my bobbin, so it's probably going to run out on me because that's what happens. And I'm just going to sew this or top stitch this on 1/8 of an inch. And I'm going to use like a 5.5 inch stitch length. That's just what I like with my machine. This is a Juki DU1181N. I am using, the Wizardy Stitchery, whatever. the sewing string from that place. And I'm using the unicorn mane, I think is what it's called, the rainbow one. So, and I think it's the 70. What is, let me see. Wizardry Stitchery, unicorn mane, text 80. There we go. Just so you know. Okay. Hopefully it's not bumping you around. All right, and so I go down one side, and then I just pivot, and just on the very edge, just to get over to the other side, and I go back down. I don't really backstitch on these. You probably should, but I don't. Apparently, I follow my own rules a lot of the time, so maybe I'm not the best to be doing tutorials, but honestly, I feel like I sew like most of us do, not by the book. So where's my lighter? Okay. But I will burn the edges of my thread, and because this is a polyester thread, burning it will actually melt the little, the plastic inside of it, and kind of stop it from coming out. For your top stitching, use the 5 stitch length as well. I think it looks the nicest, because if you go too small, it looks more like what you get on a domestic machine, and then I'm always afraid it's going to rip. So I try to use a longer stitch. I just really like the way it looks. Okay, and I was going to say I forgot my scissors, but I actually have these here. And if you don't have a pair of these, seriously, these are so handy, especially whenever you're doing the overlay, and I think that's tomorrow in the directions, but no, maybe the next day. Anyways, not important. But when you're doing a zipper overlay, these help so much to get up underneath there and trim stuff out without fear of kind of cutting off your other parts of your fabric. Okay, so we're going to cut these in 4. So I just fold in half and fold in half again and again. Hi, everybody. If you have any questions, once again, just put them in the chat and I will answer anything I can. I'm just going to burn those too. Ignore me lighting it on fire. For lace and delicate. Oh, that's a good idea too. Yeah, they're super handy. Like, I really like them. And these I got from a local shop, More Sewing here in Southern California. But I mean, I'm sure this brand is something you can find online easily. But I really like them. They're super handy. Okay, so we have our pieces here. And I'm just going to go ahead and put on my 1-inch rectangle rings and put a little clip here. I'm trying to see where I'm at in the screen. And just make sure that you kind of clip, it doesn't really matter too much on this one because most of it's going to be hidden behind because these are the hidden strap connectors. But whenever you're doing this with a pattern where maybe this is going to stick out more, make sure you're just clipping just on the very tippy top there, because sometimes these, especially if you leave them on for a while, will leave a really deep crease in your fabric, in your vinyl. So if you just put it on that little bit right there that is going to get hidden in the seam anyways, you'll save yourself a headache. So I am just going to put those to the side. And I usually have like a little bucket that I like to put my pieces in that are ready to go. I usually also have my zipper pulls and anything like that, any of the hardware I need in here as well, but I don't have it out just yet because it's not for today. Okay, so that's the strap connectors. I feel like you probably all know how to do those already. The rolled handles, so I'm going to do those next. And I'm using a pretty thick vinyl here. If you are trying to do this on a domestic, you definitely don't want to use a vinyl for your rolled handles. Has anyone done a rolled handle at all on a domestic? I don't know if it would, the presser foot would lift up enough on a true domestic, I should say, not like a one that can handle it, or a, I forgot my ruler. Okay, let me go get my ruler real quick. I left it on the table over here. Okay, so on this one, geez Louise, did I forget my pen too? Oh, I'll be right back. I forgot my marking pen. Okay, I should be a little more put together tomorrow. Oh, okay, so you can do it on a... So you could probably do like a waterproof canvas maybe with a, maybe with some like Decaville or something. Thank you. It's the one that came in the project box from So Whatever. Lauren Mormino. Okay. Not gonna lie, this is one of the main reasons I got the box because I wanted the sparkly clips and the sparkly ruler. All right, so this is just the straps. Like I mentioned before, in case you weren't in here, I did my straps at 20 inches. You can do whatever size length of straps you would like. If you want more of like a elbow bag, I don't know if that's what they're technically called, but that's what I call them, where you hold it like on your forearm. You would want to make them a bit shorter. And if you want ones that, or if you need a little extra room in the arm area, you would make them just a little bit longer. I do. I really like the Tex 80. It's my favorite on my machine, anyways. I don't feel like I need anything thicker than that. I don't think I would go any thinner. I think it would probably start snapping, but okay, yeah. So bulk test definitely recommended. Yeah. Okay. So the directions say for this part to draw your center line, which is what I just did, and then we're going to take some double-sided tape and put it slightly off the line, and then I'm going to go ahead and mark. No, I'm not going to mark yet. I'm being indecisive. I'm sorry. All right. Oops. Okay. So I'm just going to, I still did that wrong. Oh well. Put my, and I think this is 1/2 inch double-sided tape. Obviously you can use whatever size you want, but I like using a 1/2 inch whenever I'm doing straps like this, because I find it holds a little bit better, especially on these ones that are kind of like a fuzzy back to it, which sometimes have a hard time holding your tape down just because it's like a fleecy, fuzzy texture. So, but definitely this Hyperstick tape, which is the super strong tape from the way back, is the way to go on vinyls that are thicker, or if you're using like an actual leather. It's definitely much easier to use this super sticky Hyperstick tape. All right, so just the same as I did on the other one. Folding to the center. So this piece is, I think it's 4 inches wide in your directions by whatever length you want. So we're folding it in half here, and it's going to be a 2 inch wide piece. And I'm just butting up the edges directly together. You can give them a little bit of separation if you want to help that fold over process, but I didn't. So, all right, let me do the same to this one. And remember, you have 2 on this one, so I guess no, I wouldn't just cut it double the length and do that. It wouldn't work. Never mind. Just thinking out loud and contradicting myself. Is anyone actually sewing along right now? Or are you guys just watching to see how it's done and hoping you can ask questions? Awesome. If you need any help with the SVG files, let me know. I can show you how to. Oh, actually, I think I did a video on how to. It should be on my YouTube on how to load them into both of the programs, whichever one you're using. Alma, some people did use a domestic to make it in the tester group. You just need to watch how thick your materials get. And this is one of the thickest parts of the bag, in my opinion, is doing this rolled handle. So you could always switch this out for a different style of handle. Oh, awesome. Another Callie. Okay, so now that you have these folded into the center, we're going to fold them again like this. And I'm probably going to actually skip this part just a little bit and do the next part here real quick. So, and I am working off of the original instructions that don't have the edited stuff, but just so you know, your instructions may be just the tiniest bit different than mine. But okay, so we're gonna mark 5 inches here on each side. What kind of machine, cutting machine do you have? Ooh, a 2-tone. That's going to be pretty. Okay, so I've marked my 5 inches. This is going to be, oh yeah, the My Punk Embroidery, the promo vinyl. I bet that would be perfect for it. Is that the one you're talking about, B? Because that's a really nice, I really like the promo vinyl, actually. Okay, I did my 5 inch. So I'm going to take some double-sided tape and I'm going to run it along one edge of both in between the 2 5-inch marks that I have, because these are going to be folded together, but we want to leave these out for now. I think. Am I reading that right? Actually, I'm just going to clip it. That way it'll be a little bit more universal for everyone. Okay, so I'm going to use my alligator clips again, and I'm just going to fold this in half. And I'm going to have to remark my, my 5-inch marks on the actual outside of the vinyl. Would probably be a little more helpful if I could see them. So I do like using the alligator clips on things like this. So especially whenever it's a thicker vinyl and you have a lot of layers, because I don't, again, want to have those pinch marks, I guess you could call it, from these clips, because they do hold very tightly. Yes, they're Thankful Tuesday. Isn't that what it's called? I love it. Oh, and it's Tuesday. You guys go run and get some stuff from My Punk Bordery. I spend way too much money there. Okay, now I'm going to mark those again, like I said, on the outside. At the 5-inch mark. And this will make more sense once we get sewing, how we need to do it, why we're doing it this way. Okay. I really hope that I'm not making things more confusing. So please stop me if something isn't coming across right, or I'm not making sense, please. This, like I said in the beginning, this is my first live tutorial that I've ever done for sewing. I have done some tutorials for epoxy glitter tumblers in the past, but it's been a while. So okay, so what we're going to do now for this one is we're going to top stitch, and we're going to top stitch. We're going to start here on the folded edge, and then we're going to top stitch down over, and then the entire kind of raw edge where you have the 2 folds, so that we're going to close that off completely. But we're not going to top stitch between this mark and this mark on a single fold side. I hope that makes sense. Thank you, Jessie. I'm a little nervous, but the only way to get through that is to just do it, right? To keep up. Okay, so I'm going to top stitch starting here. Nope, I did that wrong. Hold on. Reset. Pull that up. Okay, on the single fold edge. All right, and I am going to backstitch here. If you wanted, you could do the pull through method, but I'm just going to go ahead and backstitch. A little bit further. That's interesting. How you ship through two different locations from different areas. Like I've heard people using like a shipping partner or something like that to forward to other places where they can't get it. Like one of my favorite soap makers recently, she's in Australia, and like her insurance wouldn't let her send to the US anymore. But you can like do it through a shipping partner. And that's weird. All right. So now I am just going to go to my erased 5 mark line. That's a pain about using chalk, but I don't want to mark on this vinyl. All right, and it's easy to drop back on. So we're just going to sew right back up to this chalk line here. Okay. Just going to trim. I need new snips. Mine are getting a little bit on the tough side. Okay, so you should have a piece that looks like this with everything but this part here in the middle sewn together. All right, and now I'm just going to repeat that on the second piece real quick. And the reasoning for doing this will be evident here in a minute, because we're actually going to fold this part over again to make that rolled handle. And you can follow along with this part right here and try your best to kind of stay up with it and follow just that exact line. And then that way you don't have two sets of stitching that you have to worry about lining up, and it'll give you a nicer look in the end. So, and we're only doing it between the two 5-inch markings. So we'll just kind of fold it over, and then I will actually do it from this side so you can follow your stitching here. Hope that makes sense. Okay, we got it. We're good now. And don't apologize. Just seriously ask any questions. Like, I'm not the kind of person who ever gets upset with questions. I don't think any question is a dumb question. And most of the time, if you're thinking the question, there's probably someone else who's not brave enough to ask it, who's also thinking that question. So. Oh, caught on my shirt. Yes, exactly. We're all still learning. No one knows everything. And if you have a question, for me personally, I was always a tutor in school. because I had a different way of explaining things than like the instructor did, or I just had a knack with telling people how to do something in a way that maybe they could understand a bit better. So it's always good to ask multiple people too, because everyone has their own way of doing something. And it could be that you find a different way easier, and that's totally cool. That's totally okay. It's whatever works best for you. You're the one making it. Oh, yeah. It's just so they're, right there, handy, ready to go. They accidentally, I was winding a bobbin and they accidentally fell down in there one day. And I was like, hey, that's a good idea. All right, so go to that 5-inch line, back stitch, and we're done. Where'd my steps go? Okay. I do have a question though, for you guys. Would it be easier, like if there's something like this where I have 2 handles, would you rather just see one handle being made and have the other ready to go? Or would you like to see both of them being made on camera? So you get an extra shot at looking at it. Because there are some pieces that are a little bit like repetitive. Doing the hidden connectors, there's 4 of those. So do you want to see them all on live or just a couple and then move on? Okay. All right, so I'm going to use some double-sided tape. It's going to help a lot here in this situation because it is such a thin and width-wise, but then thick tall-wise piece. So I'm going to put some of this Hyperstick tape on just between the 5-inch marks where we're going to fold over that rolled handle. Probably don't need such a large piece of it, but it'll be okay. Yes, I'm going to save the video and upload it to my channel as soon as we get off, I'll upload it. That way you can go back and look if you need to. Because I know sometimes it's so much easier to be able to like pause it and rewind, watch it again and again. Okay, so the double-sided tape is on there and remove the backing. Now we're just going to fold that middle section in half. And this is where that is going to give us a lot of help with that double-sided tape. If you don't have double-sided tape, you can use the clips here. If you can get them around. Mine's kind of thick. I'm using a pretty thick vinyl here. My aunt requested a beach-themed bag, so I thought that this vinyl from Lauren would be perfect. It's got like a really cool kind of almost wavy look to it. And it's like it's a faux leather texture to it, but it's got a really cool pattern that I thought kind of mimicked water a bit. So definitely post your progress. That would be awesome. Oh, needle? That's a good question. I've only changed my needle once since I got this thing. Let me see. Okay, this is what I'm using. Does that show? Where's the camera? Does that show? It says DPX17. I don't know. This is what the guy I bought the machine from said I needed. So that's what I got. Okay. Let me just fold this one in half again, and then we'll get started on that. I can't wait to see everyone's project. This is such a cute bag. I'm actually going to a wedding in 2 weeks, and I'm taking the first one that I made with me. So it's that the little trolley sleeve or luggage sleeve depends on who you're asking or where you're from. But that's the best part, I think, of this bag. It's my favorite part anyways. Oh, sad days. Rest in peace, little glitter clip. What was I saying? Before the death of my glitter clip. Oh, the convertible sleeve. I think that's so cool to be able to have a slip pocket when you want it, and then a sleeve whenever you want to stick it over the top of your little suitcase. At 115 for an overnight. That would be good. Yeah, I could see a little bit more space would be good for travel. My the owner of this bag is actually using it for a work bag. She's a therapist, and she's going to be carrying her laptop and stuff in it. And I thought that's so cool. I saw this bag. She had me keeping an eye out for a bag that would be good for it. And I saw this and I was like, this is the one. Okay, so we're going to put this under the needle or under the presser foot. And you want to line it up right here where you're stitching from your 5-inch stitching ended. Yeah, it's super cool, right? Okay, so this is where you're going to place your needle, right here where the stitching ended on that 5-inch mark. And this is going to be a tight fit even for my machine with the high presser foot. Okay, I think we got it. Oh. All right. And I'm just taking time to line up where my needle is going to go right on the line, the stitching from the previous one. That's why you want the stitching to go up so that you can follow along that, and it'll give you a cleaner look in the end. Now, I can guarantee you that I will not follow that line perfectly because I'm human and I mess up a lot. But it will still look really, really good. And you can put that towards the center where no one will see it. And if people are looking that close at your bag handle, maybe you need to tell them to back up a little. All right. One thing important, make sure you adjust your tension before you do this, because I almost just started sewing and I know that my tension is way too loose for that. So I'm going to tighten up my tension quite a bit because this is like 6 layers of vinyl here. So hopefully that's good. Usually if I tend to go by the number of threads on my little screw that sticks out here. So usually about 3 threads is good for like super thick for me. Of course, you're going to have to find your own, what works best for you, but that's what works for me. And I never touch this one up here. Like just ignore it. It doesn't exist. Don't look at it. So if you have a machine like me, like the Juki, actually I think it's any machine, but if you have loops on the top, that means that your tension is, or if you have loops on the bottom, it means that you need to increase your tension. If you have loops on the top, that means it's too loose. You need to tighten it up. All right, enough talking. Here we go. So I'm going to hand crank these first couple of stitches just to make sure that I'm on line, and then I'm going to backstitch. Okay. Now I'll take this slow and just readjust as you're going, because obviously that double-sided tape isn't going to hold this forever. And I was talking a lot, so. And like I said, I'm not going to go over this perfectly, and I'm definitely not. But that's the part of handmade. You don't have to be perfect. Oops. Okay. I use my nails a lot. But in this case, you could use a stiletto, or you could also use these things. What are these called? Hemostat. To just kind of hold down. But most of the time I use my nails, and that gets me in trouble because I end up running over my nails sometimes, but at least it's not my real nails. So, all right. We're done with this one. What do I do with my snips? That's what happens when you don't put them back where they belong. All right, let me trim these off, and then I can show you what it looks like. Making this bag for my sister to take to work. That's awesome. It's going to be so cool. It's so professional looking too. One of the things that my aunt was like complaining about is that all the bags that are big enough to hold everything, they're just so like masculine. And that's why she was like, will you please make me something that's more feminine and pretty? So. All right, just burning the edges of my thread. And there we go. Look at it. It's so pretty. I love this handle so much. I think it looks so nice. Okay, so that's one done. Now we just need to repeat. So this is like what I was talking about. Like, is this something you want to see both? I'm totally fine doing both. I just, if that's not really something you want to see done twice, or if you want like a shorter live, I scheduled 2 hours for each day. I don't think that it would necessarily take 2 hours each day, but you know, with questions or any kind of like, oh, I'm doing this wrong. With questions or you know, any kind of mishaps that happen, I'd like to have enough time. They also make pre-made rolled straps that you could buy too if your machine won't handle this. You could get something that would match that. Because even I'm struggling getting mine on there. All right, go under. All right, let's finish this one up. I just keep lining it up along the way. Oh, why didn't y'all tell me I ran out of bobbin? Always on the top stitching too. Get out of there, bobbin. Why are you being so difficult? Maybe because I didn't have my needle all the way up. I do not have a needle positioner. I wish I did, but I was already kind of overextending my husband's pocketbook whenever I got the machine. So I was like, I'm not gonna risk that. All right. And I don't think it's like a necessity. It would be nice to have one, but it's not like a make or break for me. So, all right, let's try that again. All right. And in the pattern, you actually will get a really cool template that will show you exactly where to punch your rivet holes, which we're not going to do right now. I'll do that in the next. Come on now. Work with me. I will do that in the final video when we go to attach them. So there we go. Our second rolled handle is complete. All right, so yeah, it does. And I've had my machine probably for like 6 months now. Has it really been that long? I think it has. But anyways, I've had my machine for a while now, so I'm getting used to it. But it's definitely it's a learning curve to go from. I had like a little $100, $200 brother sewing machine that I started making bags on until I went to top stitch one and cried and cried and cried as it chewed up my vinyl. So after that, I was like, I must have an industrial machine. So, all right, so let's make the piping. So I'm just taking this strip. Directions are in the pattern. I don't want to give out too many sizes and everything like that. Just in case you haven't bought the pattern, don't try to steal. It's mean, rude to the designer. Okay. And you're going to want to give yourself a little extra. At least I do, because I have a habit of messing up. So I'm just going to cut a little extra, put this away. And if you're using maybe a thinner vinyl, maybe go up a little in the size that you're using. I don't remember what size does it say to use in the pattern of thickness of rope. I'm just using what I had on hand. Plus, if you have like a super thick vinyl, it's going to add some bulk. Okay, yeah. So I definitely think mine is a bit thinner than that. But if you have like a thicker vinyl, it's going to add bulk to that as well. So make sure you think about that before going too thick. Okay, so I really love my double-sided tape. So I'm actually going to take just some thin, this is 1/8 inch double-sided tape, and I'm going to run it along one edge. Jeez Louise, it has like fuzzies stuck all over the side. This Hyperstick tape, like, it gets so messy as it's sitting out on your desk because it literally sticks to everything. And again, if you are using pre-made piping, then you just need to skip this step. What did I do with that second piece? Did I drop it? I know I'm not crazy. I know I cut out 2 pieces. I just had 2 pieces, right? Oh, goodness. Why do people have to be like that? Hold on, let me get rid of this. How do you go in? Does anybody know how to go in and delete comments? Rude. Okay, so I think, if you guys can report that, then it should, hopefully, maybe it'll go away. Why can't I see? What are you? No feedback. Okay, well, before tomorrow, oh wait, maybe here. Okay. Report. Disgusting. And then can I remove? Sorry, guys, but I don't want that kind of stuff to stay in here. Okay, we'll be hidden. Okay, I think oh wait, oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. Well, B, can you comment? Because I think I accidentally deleted yours on accident. Okay. Okay, well, I think I deleted one of your comments, but I didn't mean to. Okay, Now back to the mystery of finding my second piece of piping that has disappeared. Oh, here we go. Goodness. All right, back to piping. So I'm just running a super thin piece of double-sided tape along the edge. Maybe I can have tomorrow one of you do like, I can like promote you to a moderator or something like that. So if anybody does make any inappropriate comments, you can get rid of it for me. Maybe. All right. So remove the paper backing. And I'm just going to center this along the edge. And I want to leave stuff hanging out on both sides just because it makes it easier. And then, can you guys see that? Yeah. Okay. And then just fold it over. Literally all it is. You're just encasing that in there. And this is why I like the double-sided tape, because it is going to hold it closed until we get a chance to sew it. Okay, yeah, that would be great. Thank you so much, V. Just in case I'm like in the middle of sewing something and can't look up in the chat, I just really don't want that kind of grossness sticking around in the chat. I don't understand why people need to do that kind of thing. It's disgusting. It's like when you go to Vegas and they have all those flyers of naked ladies hanging out. Ugh. It just grosses me out. I don't like it. Probably shouldn't have said that word. Probably bring in more. So once you get those piping, constructed together here and press down, then we're going to just sew along the edge just to close that seam up. It's just a, this one is actually from Lauren. All of my stuff is from Lauren, pretty much. But it's just a regular magnet that she sells on her website. And then I have some other magnets that I've added. They're actually, they're called needle minders. And it's for cross stitching so that you can put, you can hang your needle on your cross stitching by putting the cross stitch fabric between the two magnets and hold it on. But it works perfectly on your machine if you have a magnetic metal machine, and they just stick right on there. I love it. It makes it so much easier. All right, so I'm just gonna throw a basting stitch down on the edge of my piping here. Sure, I can put links In most of my videos, I have a link of just like the stuff that I like to use. I'm not sponsored by any of them or anything. It's just where I like to get my stuff. But I'll definitely, whenever I'm editing this video to put back on the live, I'll add a whole bunch of links and stuff to my stuff down there. I should use a zipper foot. Yeah, probably best to use a zipper foot. I will change it out. Well, I can change it out now, but I do have a little zipper foot that I like to use sometimes, but a lot of the times I'm just so lazy. All right. So we're gonna fold in half. You're welcome. And I am going to just trim just a little bit here to know where my center is. Ooh. I didn't even catch some of that one. Ooh, there is a gnat in my face. I hate gnats. Go to the piping up close. Oh, okay. So on this one, does that show? I just went like maybe an eighth down because we're actually going to, I get closer whenever I attach it on the actual piece. This here was just to hold it together, basically, so it doesn't come apart while I'm attaching it to the side panel. You can actually, like, I did not hit the piping at all. You could pull this out completely if you tugged hard. So don't tug hard. Okay, so I'm going to mark my center here on the bottom of this one as well. And this is, let me, sorry, you see my hair. I'm trying to get my face out of the way, but it's not working. Okay. It is piece D. The I'll fix this cord from the top. Okay. Piece D. All right, and I have the center parts marked there. And then I am also going to mark an inch from the top. So this is where we're going to taper off. Well, actually, we're going to do a 90-degree angle. I guess that's not tapering, but we are going to end our piping right here so that it's not up in this seam here, because that would be really bad. It would be way too thick if you left it all the way up there. Okay, get this out of the way. I'm trying to keep it clean at the same time so it's not confusing. All right, so your piping is going to go on the top of the piece D here. And this is just your side panel. And so you're going to line it up, that mark there, on the inside. So this is where you're going to be sewing right here. And that's so that whenever you sew your other pieces to this, it will actually still be on the outside. Don't put it on the back side or you're going to have lovely piping inside your bag, inside the lining that will never be seen. So put it on the outside. And if you want, you can use staples for this part. I don't think it's really necessary. But if it works better for you to use staples, absolutely. So what I like to do is I like to put 3 clips just on the edge here. And then I'm going to clip the the piping so that it fits around, it'll curve around this corner a bit better. So you want to do super shallow cuts. You don't want to go too deep. So I'm just going to go maybe like, I don't know if you can see, where are you? I don't know if that's showing really, but I'm just going like real shallow, maybe 1/8 of an inch with like 1/4 of an inch in between. And I'm going to make probably like 5 or 6 cuts, just enough to get me around that corner. Okay. So you can see how I made those cuts, and that helps you just curve right around that corner and makes a really nice turn. So, and then I will clip that corner around and kind of flatten it out as you go so that you have a nice even turn. Oh, I love piping so much. I'm on a piping kick right now. So I was super happy that this one had it. Okay. I just want to add piping to everything now. All right. So same thing over here. Going to make like 1/8 inch clips, 1/4 inch apart, make like 5 or 6 of them. And form it around that curve. It used to intimidate me too, but it honestly, this is a super great pattern to try it on because the curves are not too hard and there's not a whole lot of piping. So it's a good pattern to try as your as practice. Okay, so now I'm going to continue to clip all the way up until that just below that 1 inch mark that I made, which you guys probably can't see. I can still see a little shadow of it, but you probably can't see it anymore. Awesome. The piping is so much fun. I think it elevates the look of a bag so much. It looks so professional when you do piping. Okay, can you guys see this? All right, so what I'm gonna do is my 1 inch mark is right here. So I'm going to put my finger just below that, and then I'm going to create a 90-degree turn. Oops. Just like that. And then I'm going to clip it. Oops, sorry, you probably can't see that all the way down there. I'm used to doing things like close up in my lap, basically. So sometimes I forget that there's a camera watching that you can't see. Okay. Now, and this is just to hold it in that place temporarily. I will probably readjust this when I get to the machine. So let's do this on the other side. Do another turn. I like to put a clip on from both sides. I'm just going to move this one over. Just because it's like it's pretty firm with that thick vinyl in there. So sometimes it's a little bit of a pain to get it. Okay, so your piping is going towards the inside. Now we're going to come in and stitch it down. So I'm probably going to do about 1/4 of an inch. I think that's what the directions actually say, 1/4 of an inch. Let me see, you can use a piping foot. Yes. Yeah. Let me go ahead and change it. I'll change my foot real quick. It's not hard. Yes, fold it over at a 90-degree angle, just because we want to kind of push it off at that 1 inch so it's not in our seam. Come on. All right. So this is how I like to use, this is actually isn't a piping foot, but it's the foot that I like to use for this purpose, because I like to get right up against here with my foot, the middle one. Okay, so like I said, I do like to kind of readjust once I get to the machine. And I'm going to line up that edge, and I will show a closer look once I sew it on. And for this one, I am using just a basting stitch. Obviously, this is going to get constructed later, so I will do a back stitch though. And kind of adjust. You can use your hemostat or your stiletto. I didn't get close enough to that. Around the curves if you need to. This vinyl is kind of slick, and my foot wants to fall off of it. Okay. Once again, I will kind of readjust this to make it line up perfect. Or as perfect as my stuff ever gets. And I kind of fell off the edge a little bit on the first curve, so I'm going to go back and re-stitch over that because I feel like it needs to be a little tighter. So I'm just going to start kind of at the base of this curve, or the beginning of the curve, and go back around. That's better. Oh, it looks so good. Okay, so let me just trim this. Threads really bother me. I'm like a stickler for threads. Ooh, get off. Okay, so you can see we have the piping just kind of taper off right at that 1 inch mark. And you can see what it will look like whenever we sew the other panels on. You could probably get closer than I have, but I actually like it like this. And if you have an actual piping foot, it would help you get closer than I can. But I think it looks pretty good, just like this. All right, let's do the other one, and then we will be done for today. And we can talk about what we're gonna do tomorrow, I guess. Thank you, Bee. All right, so this is just going to be the exact same thing as before. Going to clip it on the bottom. Just do your little relief cuts so that you can get it around that corner. I'm barely going past where my stitching is. If that is a better marker for you, how far to go in, I'm just going just about to there where the stitches are. Oh, I have all my clips over here. It's like, why are there so many? All right, nope, I need one more clip here. You can, I promise you can. And if you have any problems with it, just ask the group. It's full of like really helpful people. And I'm in there. I mean, all of us are in there, obviously. But I'll answer any questions if you have any. You can feel free to message me if you're afraid to ask in the group. And if you guys do run into any problems whenever, because I know most people are just watching right now, if you do run into any problems while you're stitching this up tonight or whenever, just ask during tomorrow's live if you can make it. Remove the cord to the top before turning. That would probably be helpful. That's a good idea. That's probably in the directions, isn't it? Let's do that. Well, I don't want it to look different. Yeah. That's in the directions. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure I did that on my first one too. But that would definitely make this turning a lot easier, a lot less thickness in that part. Oh, let's just do it. I'll do it on this side. Just to show that way. The correct way. Okay, so we're about right here. Oh, but I sewed it together. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so the correct directions are to not sew that part. And so you can remove that part there. Oops. But like I said, I make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. It's just accepting them, moving on. I always hate when people, I shouldn't say I hate it, but it makes me sad whenever people give up because they made a mistake or, you know, they think they just trashed the whole thing because they messed up on it. Like, you can always fix your mistakes. Something can always be done to fix it. You can make it into a design feature of some sort, or don't give up. Okay. All right. Let's stitch this on. That's why I love to leave my mistakes in the videos that I make, because you know, I like to show that I'm human and I'm going to make mistakes, but instead of getting frustrated about it, I would rather leave the mistakes in and show you guys how I go about fixing it instead of like pretending like the entire bag went together perfectly and I didn't make a mistake at all. Because let me tell you, my little seam ripper gets a lot of use. That one got stuck under the little leg of my presser foot there, so just make sure your needle's down anytime you lift up your foot so that it doesn't go all wonky on you. Okay. It really does look so polished or sophisticated. Okay, bad dad joke, sorry. Okay. All right, so then you would just trim this down. I'm going to leave it a little bit longer just so whenever I'm putting it in my seams, I make sure it's caught. Look at this. Just trim these off just a little bit so they're not flapping around in the wind. Okay, so that is going to be it for today. We have the piping done on our side panels. We have our strap connectors completed. And we have our rolled handles completed. So we've done some of the hardest parts. The rolled handles to me is probably one of the hardest parts of the entire bag. Just because it's so thick and oh, but it's so nice though, and it feels so good. So, okay, so tomorrow we're going to put together the front and back panels, I believe. So if you want to sew along with that, have those ready to go. That's what we're going to be doing. The what do you call the hidden connectors, which is another kind of, it's not difficult. It's just kind of a little confusing, maybe to do. Oh, thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Okay, so I will say goodbye to you guys now. I'll get this video posted with links for you, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. You're very welcome. Bye, guys.